Hi everybody, welcome to our last virtual program of summer reading. There's no code or anything today, it's just something fun if you're still looking for an art project. We are going to try our hands at paper pottery. So you can do this with newspaper or cardstock, not cardstock, sorry, colored paper, construction paper, just plain white paper if you like. I have the two shades, I have yellow and blue, just regular colored printer paper. And the other things you're going to need are tape and some Mod Podge for the very end. And I'll show you how we're going to start. So I've already have this one most of the way finished. I'm going to use that as my final one so that you don't have to watch me try it, because it takes a while. It's pretty tedious, I won't lie. But I'm going to show you how to start. And so what you're going to need is your pieces of paper. And we're going to take 4 of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 4 pieces of paper, we're going to pat them together, and we're going to fold them in half. Alright, so once you have it folded in half, then starting at the edge where your fold is, you're just going to start rolling it up really, really tight. You want it super, super tight. If you look in this one, I think you can see that. Maybe. It is super tight in the middle, and that's how we're going to keep it from totally sliding apart. So I'm going to roll this up, and a way that I recommend is pinch, pinch, and then roll. Alright, and as you roll, make sure you pull this one tight as you go. So this is how you make the starting core. And you just keep pinching and pulling and rolling. And these pieces of paper are cut at about 1 inch, I think. Yes, they're not all perfectly even because I'm really bad at using a paper cutter, but be that as it may, it's not too big of a deal if they're a little bit off. All right, now, you can see at the end, we have all of these little fellows. We're just going to tape them down. So grab a big old piece of tape and make sure you're still holding it nice and tight, and you're going to just go ahead and tape them down. And now, oops, I did a bad job taping, but it's okay. Once you have them taped down, what you're going to do is you're going to grab 4 more pieces of your paper, and we're going to line them up so that they kind of do that sort of flappy thing. So 1, 2, and then we'll put 3 and 4. And now to attach them, so they all floop, 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 or to attach them to this, what we're going to do is we're going to grab another piece of tape. Maybe. Wow, struggling with tape today. And we're going to put that piece of tape the whole way along, and then we're going to grab here, we're going to line it up. And you can see what I mean about my pieces of paper not matching up. This is kind of big. If I had scissors down here, I would trim it, but I don't, so we're not going to do that. And then once you have it taped on, you're going to do the same thing that you did to start it. You're going to pinch, and this is why that's bad right there. But this one is much more even. So just pinch and pull and pinch and pull, and just keep on doing that the whole length of your pieces of paper. And you can, this is over 1 inch, and I would say you probably don't want pieces of paper over 1 inch. That's a little too long. And then you're going to just boop, tape it down. And then if you want to switch colors, you would just grab 4 of the blue, and you're going to line them up, and you're going to do the same thing. So your 4 pieces of paper, you grab a piece of tape, tape those like that, and then right where you ended the last one, you're going to tape that down. You're going to do the same thing, pinch and pull, and pinch and pull. So you can see why this kind of gets a little tedious. But it's kind of fun. And you can do it while you're like watching a TV show or whatever you feel like doing while you do this. So that's how you make the core. There's the core. It's finished. And to keep building it out, I just kept doing that over and over and over until it got about this big. And so now I'll show you, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more on here, and then I'll show you how we're going to turn it into a little bowl. So hence the paper pottery part. And that's what you're going to need the Mod Podge for. So again, I'm just going to show you this one more time. 2, 3, and 4. Your 4 pieces of paper. We're going to line them up, tape them together, grab our mostly finished pot here, and we are going to pinch and roll just like we were on the core. So, and you go, as you go, it gets way faster because the amount of space it takes to get around your pot becomes way less. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to take this and turn it into a pot. So the fun thing about this is if I just press with my thumbs, it's going to form outward. So I can shape it into whatever kind of funky pot I want, making sure that I have a flat bottom, and then I can set it. And I can think, I could put maybe a little succulent in a pot if it's that shape. But if I don't like it, squash it back down and try again. So maybe I want something a little rounder. I will just press, press, press with my thumbs until it's a little squat, still has a flat bottom, but could still probably hold a little plant. With this too, if you make it bigger, you could maybe make a bowl for holding jewelry. If you use really thin pieces, it could be a really thin but big bowl. That could be really fun. And so, but anyway, so once you have formed it into the shape that you would really like, and I'm going to leave this nice big outer ring, but I want some yellow, more yellow showing under it. What we're going to do is we're going to cover it in glue so that it stays together and is like leak-proof, but that we can't do this and it doesn't, your bowl doesn't just destroy itself anymore. So I'm pretty happy with this shape. So what I'm going to do is grab my Mod Podge, and I have a brush. It's a brush that I don't really care about, so it's going to be fine if it gets covered in glue. I'm going to just spread these out because I have them here and I want a surface to catch my glue. So we will work on top of all of these pieces of paper and try and make sure there are no cracks. Okay, so I'm going to set my pot there. I'm going to grab my brush, and I'm just going to start Mod Podging all over this surface. And then once I'm done with the outside, I'm going to go ahead and do the inside. And if you don't have Mod Podge, but you have like Elmer's glue, just mix a little, you can look up, there are recipes online for homemade Mod Podge that you just like mix water and glue so that it's a little, I think those are the only ingredients. Clearly I didn't make homemade Mod Podge because one of my coworkers happened to bring this in, and I was like, great, I can use that for my newspaper pottery. So there we have it. And just keep going until there's lots of glue, and then when that side's done, you're going to flip it over and you're going to fill the inside too. And you might want to wait and do the inside after the outside's dry, but I'm just showing you. I'm not too concerned about it sticking to my bottom surface of paper that I have down there. That's why I put it there. Alright, and just try and make sure that you get it nice and smooth inside with the glue. Don't be too afraid to put lots in there. It'll just mean it takes longer to dry. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think that that is plenty of glue. So I will close back up my Mod Podge, and now it's just a waiting game. So I'm going to leave it, it'll dry, and when it's done, I'll have a little pot, which is very exciting. So if you don't have clay and you still want to try some kind of little pottery, here's a really great opportunity. And don't forget, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can use skinnier pieces of paper, you could use even bigger pieces of paper if you want. It's totally up to you. You can make it with newspaper, there's so many options. Whatever you have, this project will probably work for you. So if you give it a try, I'd love to see how it turns out, and I'll see you guys next time.